Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I have some sad news. Dakota was abducted by aliens later on today. And I'll tell you something, the new Dakota. Why did you leave? I'd wait and changed your name to something there and you bloody left. I was going to get you, you bugger that you are.
What are you talking about? I didn't leave.
You left. You
I
left.
didn't leave. What are you talking
I
about?
did. Left. I was on here for a couple of milliseconds. Louise, Dots, and Galactic Stardust can hang with it. I've still got a sear face, but it's not as bad as it was.
Well,
Thank you,
quit
everyone.
being such a wank. Then you wouldn't have such a sore face from people knocking you the fuck out.
No, it's because it's called having a dodgy dentist. Well, see if you're watching this dentist, man, I'm not coming back to you. I'll have to find somebody else. But I mean, why would you start pulling a tooth and then decide, oh, I can't get this, I'll just leave it? Get what I mean? And then it gets infected. Amy,
Amy, the little dots.
getting better. It's getting
Galactic
better.
Stardust. Haven't seen you in here in a while, man.
Yeah. I have that's what I actually said to you, Dakota. I've not seen Galactic Stardust for ages.
I know, right? Pardon me, but I'm still waking up. My partner in crime here had to be my alarm clock.
Yes, I woke him up at 9 minutes to 10 UK time. You need some iron brew. You need some iron brew, and you get some iron brew. Papa Joe is all about beer. He gets that for Amazon. He gets a 12-pack, and it is for $16 or something like that.
Sounds about right.
You know? Ken Jackson, hope you had a quality time off back on Earth. He's always away there. I'm telling you, he spends all his time. Oh, I bloody said that still. I can't laugh or smile too much, so that'll be me out again. But look, your eye was floating about there. You ever heard the Space Odyssey song, 2001 Space Odyssey? I can't do that, Dave. Well, you kind of what I'm talking about. And he's just floating about. Things he gets up there. I'm not allowed to go back. Last time I went, I was banned. Terrible.
I don't even have enough brain power right now to come up with
It's okay, everybody.
for that.
It's okay, everybody. Let's all space, the final frontier. I've been rewatching Star Trek Enterprise, the one where go to Quantum Leap. What's his name?
All right. Okay.
Quite good. I'm rewatching all the series again. Oh, Netflix is quite good for that, you know. How's the tooth? The swelling's been doing quite significantly. I finished the course of the antibiotics, but it's still quite sore. It's not as bad as it was. I think the tooth's dead, to be honest with you, because I can't feel anything with the tooth. So it's just run about it that's sore. The jaw's a wee bit sore, but it's getting better. But I'll have to go to hospital to. I mean, have you heard anything so ridiculous in your life? You have to go to a hospital to get your tooth pulled out.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day there. I know someone that went for 4 wisdom teeth removal.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. But they knock you out for that out here. I don't know what happens in the US. They ever hear they give you an injection at the hospital, like in the day in Scotland, and you're out like a light bulb.
Yeah.
You know? Bald and Bonkers should open its own dental service, you know?
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, God.
What am I going to do with you?
A cup of coffee. Do you want to pause it for 5 minutes and go and make yourself like a
I've had some caffeine, man.
Red Bull.
But my tolerance is so fucking high for caffeine, man. It don't affect me no more.
Well, that's Iron Brew. The Iron Brew is full of caffeine. I didn't realise that until somebody pointed it out to me.
Still, my caffeine addiction, my tolerance is so high, it hardly affects me no more.
I'm allergic to caffeine. I can only have 2 maximum cans of Iron Brew a day or 1 cup of coffee a day. See the Red Bulls? Because they had to change that because somebody sued them because it said it gives you wings, didn't they? Mind the guy sued them because it said it gives you wings. But anyway,
yeah, that's why they changed it to wings.
Aye, I had one of them once. I thought it was going to die. Honestly, I did. Yeah, my sister had to get knocked out to get hers done. Best of luck with that. Jeez. I could, you know what? It could be Bald and Bonkers goes to the dental hospital. Voyage to the bottom of the earth or whatever it is, you know.
I'm sorry, but if you got a dental hospital that's haunted, you might want to be changing yourself some facilities.
Ken, that's so weird you would say that, right? See the dental office where I go in my local town, right? It's actually built in a street, and it's called Lanark, right? But I actually found out hey, Pete. But anyway, see the building itself. It was built in 1305. I was sitting in the
Really?
waiting room. Aye, it was nice and quiet until all the kids come in and started playing with the toys in the corner. Endure that for about 25 minutes. I don't know what was worse, the pounding sore tooth or the, what do you call it, the kids jumping up and down playing with their toy set.
You and you hating kids. My God.
I don't know. It's just a thing. I'm allergic to them. I can't help it. There's Son of the Naked Bigfoot. I was actually talking to Pete the other day there on Twitter. See that thing about the Mothman? That's quite interesting. That did we know do a show with his dad about Mothman? I can't remember.
I believe so. It's a while
We
ago.
didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's actually came home. He's back home to the old farm.
Yeah, I heard that he got a distress call from across the veil and got told to get
Yeah.
his ass back home.
That's maybe a good thing because the world's starting to fall apart and that. Yeah, I mean, it could be a kind of omen. Heard
Oh,
about your tooth and jaw pain. So I heard I was just listening to
you,
that.
you, and your
What? It's
apocalypse
bloody
now
Seer.
mentality.
It's bloody Seer. I'll tell you something new, Pete. If I lived near you, I would let you get your multi-tool out and pull that bloody thing out because you probably have more balls than the dentist. The dentist because he wouldn't put. Well, he did try and put it out. That's what made it go infected. Arsehole. Honestly. They'll
Now
not
tell
do
me,
nothing new. Dentists have that fear. In the olden days, you used to get the gas, and you would hear the person screaming in agony and begging to be let go, and then they wouldn't remember a thing after that. You know? Were you still in West Virginia?
no.
There you go. You know?
Okay. Well, go for him.
So, the show tonight, what are we talking about tonight, man? What interesting, exciting thing are we talking about tonight?
Well, I don't know. I got to thinking. It's we're in the. Can't believe we're already 6 months through the year already, man.
All right, I've got to say this through. Right. See all this shit on TikTok and everybody on TikTok. Right, I've got a new hobby, right? I spend an hour and a half every day at night annoying the flat earthers, right? I can't help it, right? But here's the thing, right? What is it with all the stupid people on TikTok to know? And that's honestly the stupid people out there. They say, "Oh, we can't believe we're halfway through the year already." Oh, I think there's been a time warp. It's the Mandela effect. No, it's called a clock. It's called time. That's what happens.
They're
People are
trying to
spending.
say it's the Mandela effect that we're already in the fucking June.
No, they're trying to say that it's like the Mandela effect. It's like, what do you call it? It's like the humans actually all died in 2012, and this is an alternate reality where we're all transported to, but the time here works differently for where the time was. I like to argue with them.
You like just a bitch with everybody. What are you
I
talking
do
about?
it. It's a kind of hobby. It's a hobby. I'm actually quite good at it. Oh, there's my dog barking.
You say you are.
No, I'm
But the
really good
second
at
they
it.
come after you, you buckle like a chicken.
What's that? I'm still in West Virginia. What's that? Wait, I need to shout at my dog. Give me a minute here.
Jesse!
Tell it to shut up. Right, there we go. From what's that? Like that dentist from Little Show. Aye. Flipping hell.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, man, that cannot be healthy for you just going around looking for verbal fights, man. That's
No, it's a
not.
hobby. It's a new
It's
hobby.
not.
People have got like they
It's
collect butterflies. Look at Pete. Look at Pete. He likes to go out in the wilderness and search for things that want to eat you, right? His dad was the same. He liked to go out into the wilderness and look for things that wanted to eat you and drag you to hell and stuff like that, right? Look, there's people. You like doing your music writing and doing your videos and stuff like that. I do my tarot card readings, but I need to have like a relaxing moment. I don't do it that often. I just find I don't piss them off to the extent where they want to murder me. I just try and have like a conversation with them.
as you know,
You know.
Lawrence, and you try to have a conversation. Chris, how long have we been doing shows together now for?
Oh Christ, I've what 3 years or something like that? 4?
Going on, I think
Aye.
we've passed the 3-year mark, safely to say.
Mhm.
I know better than you. Not you've stirred people up to where they wanted to kill you.
I kind of noticed that. I don't know what I can walk into a room of people, and at the end of the day, they all want to kill me,
Yeah, including your
and I don't
co-host.
even say a word.
Some days,
It's weird. There
and
must have this weird energy that comes off me or something like that. Because I've noticed. Have you ever noticed that? I've tried
you
to
know,
be nice to people. And it's just weird.
my, nah. I think I know what your problem is, man.
Mm.
And something my old math teacher used to call. Let's say, said you suffer from diarrhea of the mouth. But I
Mm.
think Dots here has a good point.
You need to give up. Oh, come on. TikTok's fun. I only use it now and again.
Every day,
Hey, I've got quite a few views in the old UFO videos that's on there.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to be eaten, but if it works out, they'll be pretty awesome. Oh, there you go. He's got something to look forward to in life if he's been eaten by something in the woods.
You get eaten by something. God, strange
But,
crowd we've attracted, eh?
but we have. But I will admit this: we have actually got quite awesome subscribers.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, like Pete's awesome because he's just awesome. Then there's Lawrence. He loves tarot card
we've
readings, especially when he
you know
gets the double card.
we've got our
Um,
proper madhouse in here, man. What are you
I
talking
know
about?
we're like all the rejects that nobody likes.
Some
Do you know what I
days
mean?
I wonder.
We should start like a foundation, like like something to bring people together. Well, people like us, you know,
Mm,
we could change the
you
world
know,
in so many different ways.
Actually, I've been contemplating an idea for a while now.
Hmm.
Speaking of finding ways to try to bring people together, I like how you did that. I'm just gonna say none of this was scripted at all. We just kind of freeball it 99% of the time. But say, a while ago when we start, I am much
So I was
mouthier
just
than
the way to put it up.
Dad. Oh dear God! And Mike was pretty mouthy. Well,
Honestly,
there's my. Like I said, some what we've seen from Pete so far. I see Pete as being his father without the filters of old age.
mm. His dad wasn't that older. His dad was only in his 50s, wasn't he? He was only
Uh,
quite in his early 50s, wasn't he? I mean, there was
well, he
something
was
about.
older than I
I'm going.
expected.
I'm going to say this. There was something really wise. I can't. Pete will probably burst out laughing when I say this, but there was something really wise about Mike, right? What's that? I'm in, but I'm shaving my head. I will listen. Look, I'm going to say this. I always looked up to Pete's dad, Mike the Naked Bigfoot. I seen him as a kind of like Gandalf the Grey type of guy, but a kind of spaced out one. Do you know? I can say I admired him. There was just something about him. There was just this kind of weird kind of vibe about him. And he was right into his. Did you ken that Mike the
Yeah,
Naked Bigfoot was right into what you call it, his books and all that one? What you call it, Lord of the Rings?
yeah, and I was also surprised to learn when Mike told us that he was into anime.
Mm,
I wasn't
mm.
expecting that. I'm not judging. I'm not judging, but that kind of surprised me. I'll say that. But nevertheless,
Something I've never watched ever.
Okay.
It's like that cartoon. What do you call it with the professor and the wee boy? What was that? Oh, what is it? It's on
Which
Netflix.
one?
It's about this guy's a professor and he's got this wee boy, and everybody goes on about it all the time. Oh Christ, what's it called? He looks a bit like that doc. He's what do you call it? Back to the Future, but it's a cartoon.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
Aye, I kind of get into that. I tried. I tried to watch it. And I thought, what the fuck is this shit? And then just turned it off and started watching Star Trek again. Maybe I don't know. But
Oh. You know,
thank
judging
you, Louise.
off of the delay from the chat, I'm kind of impressed that Louise managed to get that before I did. But damn, but then again, I'm slow because I'm still waking up. But no, but get back to what I said.
Back in.
All right, when we first got into Bald and Bonkers, we did kind of contemplate, doing like some sort of documentary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of our like first big hoorah, show the world we're out there, show
Mm-hmm.
what we're about, stuff like that. What if we were to try to bring something like that back?
What was that?
What if we were to try to bring up a documentary again?
It's a good idea, but I'm going to say this right.
All right, come
It
on,
would be
come on.
awesome. It'd be awesome today. I need to turn up the volume here on this because I'm not going to through my headphones because obviously my Bluetooth and that. But what I'm going to say is this, right? You need money.
Yeah,
You
very
need
true.
money. You need quite a bit of money. To do a decent documentary, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars, right? Or pounds or whatever, right? Or euros or whatever you want to put it. But it's not just that, Tay. You need I mean, if you're going to begin in it, like say for instance, would you be traveling in this documentary?
There might be a little bit of traveling for what I have in mind.
Right. So obviously you want to go to like Mount Shasta and stuff like that, and other kind of like
Well,
mountains out there with like aliens and stuff like that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The initial idea was to go do something with the UFO phenomenon, being that there's so much of a focus on it now. But what if we zoom out a bit?
Right.
Do something that focuses more on what leads people into the supernatural itself.
Mm-hmm. I see where you're going with this.
Because think about it. There's not a damn person in this room right now who does not have some sort of story that led them to where
Oh,
they
good
are now.
God. Jesus, the room that we've got here, that you'd be lucky
The
if there's
the
one
people
person.
we've had, the guests we've had on this show, a lot of the stuff we've talked about to our audience members, I have yet to come across somebody who doesn't have some sort of story that led them down this path.
Oh, I know. I mean, if you take like Dots, look at Dots, he's writing his alien stuff like you are. And then if you take Louise is writing into her ghost stuff, but she's also into her alien stuff too. But then if you to talk about Son of the Naked Bigfoot, Pete, for all its
Yeah,
holy, the things that he's into would like
the
make the average man run away screaming.
yeah, exactly. Like Pete said itself, some people are unfortunately born tied to this shit, like myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, and you get to talking to groups like Elena, Craig Campbell-Basso. We had, or you go to the doctors, Stephen Greer. There, every single one of these individuals has some sort of major story that happened to them that kind of bound them into something underneath the supernatural umbrella. What if we were
Yeah,
to do something that explores that?
you could. Have you got plans? Have you got plans? Have you put them into motion? Do you have something ready to go up with?
Actually, I do. Well, come on, you
See?
know me. I'm always up to something.
Oh, for Jesus, man, you sleep about 1 hour a day. No wonder you were late tonight. You're probably up late last night,
Oh yeah,
typing away.
I wasn't typing away. I was
Mm,
producing a brand new song, plus a trailer that I was hopefully going to try to show people today
mm.
for a
Show them
book
the
I'm
trailer. There.
working
It's
on.
awesome. I've seen it.
Oh yeah. The only two people in the world have seen it so far. But just going back to the documentary, so we don't bounce around too much. what if we, to build up to it, that we invite everyone that listens to this story to send in a piece for like an anthology.
Hmm.
Because we have a book publisher. We can make it happen.
Do you have the Dead Sea Scrolls for Pete's part? Because the stories that he'll have.
Well,
Well,
I
I don't
imagine.
think we've got enough trees in Canada, to be honest with you, to be turned into paper for that.
Now, I think this could actually be an interesting project. And yes, I already have something set up on the main website for people to submit their stories in and learn a little bit more about what we have in mind. I'll go ahead and
Mhm.
bring the link up on the screen. So, like I said, the idea is to allow people to share their true stories, no matter what sort of the context may be. Because one of the things that kind of set me and Chris up on going down this route was we felt that some of our previous affiliations were trying to restrict us because we were wanting to explore areas that might be sensitive to others. And granted, they had
Mhm.
somewhat of a decent reason. Yeah, it is touchy subjects. But in the same light, if you're truly going to explore, especially the supernatural, where you're dealing with people's mentality, they could have a situation at home that's triggering the
Mhm.
activity, or people's all around culture. Sometimes you're going to come across some pretty nasty situations. And
Oh,
I'm not
sure.
just talking about demons. Sometimes
Uh,
it's the people that are the worst.
it's weird, right? But like, there's folk in the chat there that's had some amazing experiences. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
amazing experiences. But Pete, do you want to do that? Do you want to send something in? Because I would love to hear Pete when Pete was doing his travels across America, right? He'd tell a story. And the Twitter, I don't know if you read it. It was about a campfire kind of story, and it was a
I
ghost
think I
story. And
saw it.
I was like, "Holy shit, that's a good story." I don't know where you go that for Pete, but it's bloody good. But there's Dots too. I mean, Dots has always been into the what do you call it, the UFOs, hasn't he?
Yeah, like I said. And I'm want and this is something that we've had a couple people, already message me, ask, "Hey Dakota, what are you talking about? What's going on?" And I want to try to elaborate this. Many of the audience who've followed us for a while now know that my story gets all sorts of messed up at the beginning. It's
Mm.
what set things off. You deal with
Yes.
psychic phenomenon, you have either people going through a rough patch or people taking to a nasty blows to the head. Hell, there's even stories out there where I've heard people who had issues with drug addictions have a wake up call when all of a sudden their photos are being taken and there's what looks like demons in the background.
Aye. I've heard about that. It's
Yeah,
as if they're waiting to collect the soul.
either waiting to collect the fresh meat or it's meant to be a nasty wake up call saying if you don't turn around and get your life in gear, you're not going to like what's going to happen to you.
Mhm.
It's a scary
See,
thought. And I've
oh,
seen
aye.
a few of these photos to where even I'm looking at it like, holy crap, that is a messed up dog.
As long as Pete doesn't start spamming the chat with smiley dog,
Oh, dear Lord.
I could help with that.
You just
But
had to bring that
I
up. You
had,
just had to
it's
put that
fine.
in his head.
I didn't mean that. Pete, don't don't share it.
Oh, God. But anyway, like I said, I would like to build up to the documentary by starting off with a ghost anthology, something that's a
Mhm. Nope.
little easier to put
Mhm.
together. So there's a little submission form. There's a little bit of legal mumbo jumbo, but it helps protect everybody. You have a
Mhm.
situation like Baby Reindeer where the gal who the stalker was inspired of found out, got named by internet sleuths, and now suing Netflix.
Mhm.
And she's not really denying the fact that she did all that crap either. But nevertheless, I know there's a lot of people that don't like dealing with those forums, but it helps protect everybody's interests. It puts it in as plain of English as I can possibly get it. And I think that maybe it could do some good. I mean, our printing partner helps us get out to like 44,000 different stores, libraries, universities,
Mhm.
schools. And there's a lot of people that are starting to realize maybe those crazy people they made fun of for believing in ghosts are onto something.
Look,
I mean, the topic about
I
UFOs has clearly shifted.
I think we're entering a new stage in the kind of paranormal, and this is the honest truth. I think we are heading into a new stage. People are starting to open up to it a lot more. Because I've noticed that, especially on TikTok, there's a lot of people talk about like near death experiences, but it's not just near
Mhm,
death experiences, end of life death. I've been watching a lot on there because I ken some folks shouldn't really video somebody dying. Get what I mean? And then put it
mhm,
out there as long as they've got permission. Get what I mean? It should be fine. But I think it's becoming a I think it's something we should really look into. See in Japan, see people don't realize, but see in Japan, the kids actually learn about the afterlife and the
mhm,
spirit world. And I think it would be a good thing for the Western world to learn things because then it makes you know that your granny, your grandpa, your mum, your dad, or whatever, you will probably see them again
mhm,
eventually. Okay, I mean, and I think it helps with mental health too because you think about it, you get somebody that's just lost somebody, right? And they're distraught, they don't know what to do, they want to end it, they want to end it on. You shouldn't do that anyway. But that'll help them to know that their loved one, you will see their loved one again, and they have to
mhm,
enjoy their lives.
mhm. And I will say there's a lot of people who, well, now granted, they're grieving, they're going through their process,
Yeah.
they're trying, you know, that just lost their loved ones, to where a lot of us have to kind of sit back, kind of feel like this individual's trying to milk the fact that they've had loved ones just pass away to get away with certain stuff. You ever meet someone like that?
That's interesting. No, I've no actually, but that's interesting. What Son the Naked Bigfoot says the Tokyo
Hmm.
newspaper actually post.
I've heard about that. But
Yeah,
yeah, in Japan, it's a very open topic over there.
yeah.
It's China, especially, where the idea of spirits. I mean, when I went on the Great Wall, you could feel that some of those soldiers that were around on that thing
Oh
were
God.
still around.
Hmm. Hmm.
It just
I do
had
ken
that
folk.
vibe to it.
I have ken folk that I ken folk that are, and I don't know why they do it. They say they're into ghost hunting and all that kind of stuff, but they don't believe in the afterlife. But they only do it to
Mhm.
make money on YouTube,
Yeah, and let's
right?
face it, unless you manage to get into the thousands and thousands of viewers at least, you don't really make enough to,
Oh dear
make
Jesus.
it make it past the payment holds.
2,800 views will get you $1.
Sounds about right.
So if you work that out with say like a million views, if you're lucky to get a million views, that is eh, what about 30,000, $40,000, something round about that. Round about that. But then if you're in America, I ken in America they tax that.
Yep.
In the UK, I think it's different, but it's out a certain amount.
Yeah, in the US, you it's a little different state to state, but it's usually, if you say, like, as a side income in general, you don't necessarily get taxed if you make more than $10,000 within the year.
Yeah, that's a
So that So, and
So if you
there's
make,
a lot of people that go into this stuff. Maybe make a few extra bucks here and there. Let's face it, there's a lot more of us
but,
seeking out that
but
type of
here's a
stuff
question.
with
But
inflation and
here's a
all that.
question I'm going to raise to you. I'm going to
All right,
raise
come on.
this documentary is a great idea, right? I think it's a brilliant idea, and it's everybody in the chat probably think it's a better idea, especially with the book. Okay, I mean, with everybody's stories and stuff like Rosalind Cooper. What's that, Rosalind Cooper? Let me finish, and then I'll read that before this will gaff the store. But you still need funding.
Yeah,
You need funding.
yeah.
And that's the main thing. What's that, Robin Cooper? So, Christopher, you didn't get to tell you all the, oh my God, sir, what's this? Can't read that. It's awfully far away.
Oh, the tea. Oh my fucking God, sir. Let me tell you, since you told me about the carefulness because you've seen something wrong with the motorcycle and the accent, well, my boyfriend's probably typing more as we speak.
Oh, I probably didn't. Right. But anyway, right. So you need money, but where are you going to get the money from? Unless there's a billionaire watching this, or a multi-millionaire, you know.
Hey, what's up, Lewis? But that's the point.
Lewis, it's getting better, my friend. The antibiotics are helping.
You're not wrong, man. We need the funding. We need the funding to, not just maybe do a little bit of travel, but maybe get some help with the editing. Get the captions made up for the distribution partner. We still have the distribution partner to help us get out to all these different streaming platforms, and they don't charge anything, so that's helpful. But nevertheless, we still need funding in order to make it happen. That's
Right.
where the anthology is. Hopefully, we'll start those dominoes to fall.
Right. Humour me here and kidding that I'm an idiot for Scotland.
Oh, that's not exactly anything new, but
Yeah,
okay.
right. Just humour the people in the chat,
All
right?
Come on.
How much would it take to make a documentary? Cheap as possible. And I mean, like cardboard cutouts, like ghosts and stuff like that. If you to be really cheap.
The term you're looking for is called shoestring budget. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And at minimum, that's roughly around 15,000.
Well, it's not actually
Plus,
that
one thing I
bad. You
would
could
like
raise
to
it.
do, because, like I said, there's not. I would be very impressed if you were to find someone who did not have some sort of story that set off their interest when it comes to anything in regards to supernatural, aliens, ghosts, cryptids, what have you. But one thing I have noticed is that you could draw some very serious connections with mental health, and that's part of the main underlying tone of it. To draw those connections towards mental health, utilizing supernatural topics as somewhat of the lure. Because let's face it, what was that film? There was a film that proposed the idea that a scientist was able to prove that the afterlife existed, but it initiated basically mass suicides.
Right.
What was that film? I can't remember, but
Oh, you talking about the one where everybody was killing themselves?
yeah, because they realized the afterlife was real.
Oh, I thought you were meaning that other one where there was like a chemical in the air that was causing folk to kill themselves.
Oh no! You're talking about I believe that's happening with Mark Wahlberg, where it turned out to be the plants that was causing issues. Yeah, but no, it was I believe it's Jason Segel's. Anyway, the revelation like this would cause some concerns. It's going to be a little bit better now, but there's still a lot of people would probably have to question a lot about their life because they realize, yes, this stuff's true, but it's not exactly how they portrayed it in Sunday school.
Aye, I'm going to say this again, and it's nothing against religion, right? It's nothing against the people, the Christians who went and burned me at the stake for this. The Bible's not what you think it is, right? The afterlife has been around for, well, ever, right? And it's know what you think it is. Angels are know what you think they are, right? Mike could always explain it. He had a good way of explaining things.
Mm-hmm.
Ken, how you explained it with the Loa and how the serpents and stuff like that is through time. Okay, I mean, that's how I see it now. Because you got to remember, before the world was here, everybody thinks before Earth existed that Christianity didn't exist. What I'm trying to say is that God didn't exist. There's civilizations out there that have long gone died in the cosmos that had religion. Get what I mean? There's, look, I'm going to say this now. The Bible's made up, right? 99.9% of it is made up, right? There's more. There is an afterlife, I ken that, but it's not what you think it is. That's what I'm just going to say. I've got probably bumped to the state for that now.
Nothing is exactly the way it seems, and everybody's seeing that now. And that's the underlying meaning behind the word apocalypse. Yeah, I saw.
I can't help myself. Good to bring it up.
That's the underlying term behind the apocalypse, is that the veil's starting to thin. People are starting to realize that not everything's exactly how it seems. But again, that kind of brings us back to why this sort of project could be helpful, because we've already have several millions of people who have already had their own experiences. And yes, while the social media and stuff does find ways to help us all find each other, to be able to connect, share stories, to try to understand that, one, we're not exactly alone out there, and two, there is something real to this. There's still very much another struggle. And that's why I also made sure, put in plain bold letters, that this is not a project for judgment.
Yeah.
We see
it
all the time. We see it all the time. There's cycles of bullying and discourse. And I'll say it myself, that we've ended up we found ourselves getting wrapped up in it and not exactly handling it in the best of light. I'll say it.
I'm going to say, how are you going to iron out the people that talk a load of absolute shite? It's like Son of the Naked Bigfoot says, Pete says he was met a lot of batshit people on TikTok, but in general, in the paranormal world, there's people out there that have made up some utter shit, but folk believe them.
Because the type of project that we're talking about will weed people out. Because they're, granted, like I said, our film distribution partner, they could help us get onto Gaia, Vudu, or Fandango, Home now as it's called, Netflix, all the big streaming platforms out there. So yeah, that's going to attract some of these, publicity seekers. But they're going to weed themselves. But kind of like that individual when we were doing the readings that was getting upset because we weren't acknowledging they came in the room when we were busy with someone else. Those people are going to expose themselves very quickly, and there's already a list of people that are being watched.
I've seen it. Look, I've seen it in the ghosty world. I've met some absolute crazy people out there. I'm going to say that. People talk shit, they fall by the roadside, exactly, Pete. But what I'm going to say is I've met some crazy ones. I've met some crazy ones that have just made it up, made it totally, absolutely up. And they're still going to today. They're still basing their YouTube channels off it and stuff like that. I just can't get it. How folk fall for it. What's that? Having my dad being who he helped us develop
a very accurate bullshit detector. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, remember that guy? It was about 2 years ago. Remember the guy with problems with him because he said he killed a megalodon. And he was in the Navy.
God, I remember that.
Remember that?
I remember that
like
guy.
This one. There was this guy. He said he killed Bigfoot single-handedly with a cocktail stick or something like that. and something stupid. He was in the woods eating his dinner, and Bigfoot jumped out and tried to run away with his dinner, but he beat him up and killed him. But then he had got a job in the US Navy, recruited him because he was the only man capable of launching the torpedo that would kill the megalodon.
Like Louise is saying here, the ones who are in it to fake it beat themselves out very quickly when you know what to look for. And granted, there's probably going to be some people that say, oh, you too fake your shit. Nah. I'll admit my story has changed sometimes, but there's a natural progression as I'm understanding things better. That's another way you also got to look at it, is that there's so much BS already out there, it's hard to tell who you should really trust. And it's going to be very difficult to truly weed everybody out. Not everybody may get included, but nevertheless, the right people always find a way to shine through.
Yeah,
I do truly believe that.
There's Pete. That's a new level of howling. I know. When I get sent the thing, oh, this guy's doing this and that, and I was like, holy shit! Went onto his Twitter, and he said he'd hand-to-hand combat with Bigfoot because he ran away with his sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh god, come on! You got to remember there is some people out there that are absolute raving lunatics, right?
Like Iron Firehorse says, there's certain individuals who probably qualify as mentally ill who are so dedicated to the story they believe their own delusions.
That's interesting you say that, because there is people out there that think they're the masters of the universe and they've got the powers to do anything they want, but in actual fact they don't have any powers whatsoever. But they just make you think, you know. They just make you think that, oh, they're all powerful and they can get you. Ooh, can I think at me?
Very true.
Why is my chat not working? I have to keep pressing it.
Don't bug out about that one that came through Twitch. It's a spam one.
No, I'm just clicking on it. I was like, I've been getting it too. And would you call it?
Yeah, we're gonna get it no matter what. How's it going, Rasheen?
But I think it's a good idea, and the book idea too, with everybody's stories, is a really good idea. We might need about 50 or 60 volumes for Pete, but
probably
it'll be like the World Britannica, you know, from A to Z.
So, like I said, those people, anybody who wants to take part, there's your
Pete,
submission right on the screen, and there will be a link in the description for everybody who listens in on the audio side of this broadcast.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't know, something about how last week with how the readings were doing kind of inspired me. It's like, you know what, maybe it's time we push this thing forward.
Yeah. So if there's any millionaires that would like to donate $20,000, so as we don't need to get the cardboard cutouts, say like Bigfoot. Hey Pete, do you want to chase some people? They're telling their stories through the woods. We could get Pete to dress up as Bigfoot and chase after them for like the video footage and stuff like that, you know.
See, like, actually, Roisin makes a very good point here. She writes, I heard a theory recently that poltergeists are our own projection of fear, etc. Yeah, that's why a lot of groups will actually say one of the first signs of potential poltergeist is a young woman, just entering into puberty to her mid-20s. Because something is going on mentally that is projecting out into the physical environment. That's one of the theories out there. That it's not necessarily ghost. It's well, let's say you have a Stephen King Carrie situation.
I mean, you can bring power into something if you totally believe it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you can manifest stuff. It's like, what is it, a topa? If everybody, like, talking about like topas, remember we had a show about that. If you manifest, if everybody, you do an experiment. Yeah, I mean, but there you go.
I mean, hell, there's stories out there of authors who swear up and down to this day that people and things out of their books that are supposed to be completely fictional somehow managed to manifest into reality.
Mhm.
I mean, hell, there's a guy
Yeah.
who was an animator for Planet of the Apes comics, and he was drawing out this scene of a woman being held hostage by a gorilla, and all of a sudden, story goes that he hears his wife screaming in another room, and there's this big dude holding a gun up to her that broke into their house.
Yeah.
So yeah, these
Or it's
stories
that.
are out there, and yeah,
Oh, he's froze,
they're
ladies and
gonna
gentlemen.
sound absolutely crazy when you go into it. But I'm not frozen.
That is just crazy. I don't know if anybody's seen that. I don't know if anybody's seen that. As it's at, what's this at? That was at 46 minutes in. You froze and then you went really, really, really quick.
It could just be something on your end.
No, I was watching it on the through my 5G TV.
Yeah, Mr. 5G fiber optic,
And it's probably a
and
radiating
had
the
all
visible.
those
That's why I'm
issues.
getting stuff right with me.
Yeah, but still, and some of these stories may sound absolutely crazy, but nevertheless, it's out there. So let's bring it to the forefront.
Yeah,
Show people that they're not alone in this.
we should.
Like I said,
You play the trailer for them, and then we could talk about stuff
well,
after the trailer.
the trailer's not to do with the anthology.
Right.
But for those who followed sort of my ET side of things and have been wanting me to write a book that goes more into detail,
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. It's almost done. And I figured since we were talking about, the future of Bald and Bonkers, I put together a little trailer for y'all. I was trying to upload it into the system itself, but it kept saying a server error on me.
Yeah. It's quite interesting what Son of the Naked Bigfoot's saying. He's playing about with tones for Mothman.
I'm running through some Mothman tones for tonight. They got
Gonna
shit
keep
from
them in such
Mothman
a
out there too? Fuck. Well, you know, they do try to say Mothman is an ET, so.
Don't worry, Pete. We'll have a full 2-minute silence for you if we never hear from you again.
Anyway.
There we go.
Only 2 minutes? Only 2 minutes for a poor old Pete? God.
5 minutes then.
I see how you are. I see how you are,
Well,
motherfucker.
give them 2 minutes. I usually give everybody 30 seconds, but give them 2 minutes.
Does the trailer have any full frontal? Oh, come on. Dakota, did you hear the audio anomaly on Dr. Sella and JP's interview? Yeah, that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was the one where Una came through, wasn't it? Who knows? You might hear some audio anomalies for some of the interviews I have lined up coming up here shortly outside of Bald and Bonkers. But still.
It's true what Pete says. We could dress you up as a woman, Dakota.
I would make for a very ugly woman. Just look at my sisters.
I don't know. We could get Pete with his makeup cat or something to make you look a wee bit more interesting, you know? Get you all dolled up, you know?
I don't know. I did use that Reface app to put my face on my girlfriend's body, and it did kind of make me look like Mike with a little wig on.
Oh my God. I'm damaged for life now.
Yeah, because I chose a picture where my facial hair came in. But anyway, shall we get started with the trailer?
Let's go. Let's go. Trailers. We're all sitting here with popcorn ready.
All right.
Hello, my love. I've missed you. Shall we tell them our story?
In the shadows of my mind,
You of all people should know there's nothing more that I want.
whispers of a haunted past, and I'm the one. Twisted world, I was the nightmare. Can you see?
If there's one thing I can ask of you in this moment, my starlight angel, please do not ever forget my gratitude for you. I love you.
I found a way to heal my soul. With you I am whole. With you I am whole.
What do you think?
I've already seen it obviously a couple of times. I think it's really good.
Thank you. Thank you. I wrote the song myself.
There you go, guys. See, if he fails in podcasting, he can now start his own band. You've got your own band, haven't you?
Yeah, we got Starlight Amnesia. That's what it's called. That's who produced the music.
There we go. If anybody wants to join the band, please contact Dakota. Pete, if you want to join with the tambourine, you know.
God, no, we're gonna. There's no open applications at this moment. For fuck's
That's a
sake.
joke, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on.
Rip out your.
Kid, I was
I'm
thinking we
gonna
should do a
scout and they
call
rip
in
out
one
your
night.
fucking teeth.
We should do a call in one night.
A call in.
You know how you get like a cheap mobile phone with a SIM card on it, right? And then just give that number out, say, and see what happens. The phoning the
Oh,
show.
dear God. You know, we have people that would take full advantage of that to try
Oh,
to
no.
raise hell.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because
Maybe
you just had to go piss people off. No, just
well, I don't piss anybody off. Ow, that hurt. Look, I can't help it if I'm just annoying.
annoying. Hey!
Honestly,
Jinx on this one.
I don't know what it is. I can walk into a room, no say a word, and then walk out at the end of it, and everybody just wants to murder me.
A Scotsman who doesn't say a word?
I know. I know. But there you go. But it's a very good trailer, you know.
Yes. Done the editing and the music all myself.
I think everybody in the chat should become a part in your documentary.
No.
You could actually do that. You could have a part in the documentary if you donated towards it.
I know. We'll probably try to set up some sort of GoFundMe for that later on. So we got to build up to it.
And
So
it's going to be a certain amount. It's not like 5p.
No, I think one of the things that went wrong last time is that we tried to take on too much all up front.
Oh, aye.
But we learned from our mistakes. We'll have something very good coming about. There's a blue jay trying to communicate with the tones I'm mixing. Really?
Don't be getting pecked to death, Pete.
Oh, you knew how his father liked his peckers.
Don't be getting any of my ideas. He'll be lying in that tent tonight waiting for Mothman to come.
Hey, there's some people who swear they've seen Mothman-like beings during abduction scenarios.
Maybe that's what Mothman is. Maybe it's... See, everybody thinks it's just the same Mothman. How do we not know it's multiple Mothmen? Of course, in this day and age, you're not really allowed to call him Mothman, and I'm amazed that you actually allowed to say that.
Oh,
it
God.
Should be Moth Turnip or something. Or, get what I mean?
Iron Fire Horse mixed one. Giving people the option to pay for a spot risks someone not authentic just paying their way, in my opinion. Well, you got a point. And there's a lot of people who would take up on that, but the plan's in motion. We'll have something. We'll have spots in place, and like I said on the submission form, we have partners that do help watch this that are going to help make sure we do this thing right.
Yeah.
That will completely blacklist people that step out too much out of line for their comfort.
Yeah.
but that's going to be left up to their discretion.
See, I hope it works out. That's what I'm going to say. Because I know when we first started this, you did have a lot in your plate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
we loaded
I
too
think
much
it
too
might be
soon,
doable.
and we're pretty much made the mistake of just letting anybody who showed up to take part.
Yeah.
People that didn't seem to have the best intentions in mind.
But the book idea is quite good. I see a book where everybody's like, maybe the first 3 pages was Pete, and then the next 3 pages was Louise, and the next 3 pages was you, and then the next. I think that'd be really good, that, because it'd be a story.
Mm-hmm. And like I said,
Yeah.
this is not about judgment. This is not about any of that bullshit. It's about getting the stories out there. Because who knows? Those of you who may feel that your story is a little too out there, too depressing, or anything like that, maybe the fact that you live to tell the tale may actually be able to help somebody.
There's people out there with some absolutely amazing stories, and I mean amazing stories. And I think it'd be a good thing to tell. I think it really would be a good thing to tell.
I'll only participate if I can do full nude illustrations. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But you have
I will
to
say
run through
this.
the woods.
I will say this. If now, I'll admit there's an option in there, the way the form's set up. If you happen to have photos to corroborate your story and you would like to have them included, you can.
Is you basically just asking, and I know right kind of way, to tell Pete that he can send you nude photos through your website?
No.
I couldn't help myself.
No, I was
Look,
just
ladies and
using
gentlemen, it was
Pete's
him that asked
remark
that.
to say
It was
that.
him that asked that.
I
Look,
will
you knew that's going to happen,
now,
didn't you?
why are you wanting to see Pete naked in the first place?
No. You said that.
Christopher. No judgment here, brother. I love you like a brother. If that's what you're into, I support you. As long as the relationship's healthy.
It's fine.
I just he might need to lube something up there to
Pete, I need
help
some
you
of your
out with some
paranormal
mouth
lube.
work. Help with some mouth work, but no, we're getting off trail. But no, I am saying that if you happen to have photos that corroborate your story, you can submit those in as well if you like. Or if you have a paranormal group and you want to have a chance of a little bit of free exposure, that's okay too.
That's good.
Help people find groups that perhaps are near them that can help them out. Old lady with saggy boobs. We'll talk about old hag stories. I'm reading the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's some people that don't like how raunchy we can get sometimes, but it's called Bald and Bonkers for a reason.
Oh, Christ, because I do tarot card readings, I'm classed as a devil worshipper. I wouldn't worry about it.
Just because we're talking about this type of stuff means we're devil worshippers in some communities. Even though the Vatican is putting out statements on accepting that type of stuff now.
But I'm talking about crazy religious Christian type people.
I know. And I know what you mean, brother.
Oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. So what's happening next? Well, I came of got Iron City, but that's not until the next month.
Oh, you managed to actually get something with them booked?
But it's later. It's got to be 11 p.m. at night because it gives them a wee bit longer.
All right. Our usual days on that one?
Saturday and Sunday. Still Saturday and Sunday.
All right. Hey, I'm just making sure. It's like I do work, man. It's like I do have a day job on top of this shit. Well, night job,
Mhm.
but you know what I mean.
Mhm. I don't know. I think we're all going mad, guys.
So I don't know.
But
I don't think we have much planned for next week just yet.
yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know when I'll be back doing the cards. I'm going to wait till I'm fully better before I start going back. Yeah, I mean, because even you're doing a reading, your face feels like it's got to explode. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, very true. Very
yeah, I
true.
mean, it just would you call it, puts you totally off. You know,
Very true.
but yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll play out of curiosity. What are you doing this week, Dakota? Are you doing any shows this week?
No, not yet. I actually do have an interview that I believe is pre-recorded, going down on Thursday. But we'll get into the grind soon enough. If
I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I think the idea with the book's got to be a good idea because there's a lot of people in the chat saying they've got like stories and stuff to tell.
Oh yeah, I imagine our audience will definitely have some stories to tell. So link, before we close out, we'll bring the link back up on the screen for the channels that don't get the chat messages.
Mm-hmm.
And scroll. There we go. Link will be in the description for those of you who listen to the audio side of this. Chris, you got anything to say before we close out?
I'll be doing I will do a live through the week sometime, but I'm going to wait until my mouth doesn't feel like agonising, shooting pain. It's not as bad as it was, but I will start my card readings again when I'm feeling better.
All right.
You know, because it puts me off when I'm trying to do a card reading. You know what I mean? But I will be back. I'm like the Terminator.
Interesting model of Terminator.
I know.
For those of you,
I think I'm the B5000 pain in the
Terminator
arse.
from Temu, but
that's terrible.
But for those of you interested in Friends and Files, especially after the little announcements that new information has come forward, if you listen carefully to the trailer with a good pair of headphones in, there's a little bit of a hint of where that rabbit hole goes down. Hidden in the audio. So, little Easter egg
watching it
in
back,
there
guys.
for
Better watch it back.
and be sure to listen carefully because there may be something in there you would not expect. I certainly wasn't fucking expecting it when it came up, but unfortunately, it's panning out a little too well.
I'll be fine, Dakota. I'm sure the aliens will be only with you the night for a couple of hours.
Yeah, maybe. Then we'll just have plenty of time with my wife and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Live long and prosper, everyone. I couldn't help myself to do the old will.
All right. Anyway, much love. Take care.
Goodbye,
See you
everyone.
on next time.
It's